We now discuss the solution of a problem from the section complex numbers. The question is based on the concept of argument of a complex number. This question has appeared in the joint entrance examination main held on 25th June 2022 in the second shift. The given question is, let Z1 and Z2 be two complex numbers such that Z1 bar, that is the conjugate of Z1, Z1 bar is equal to I multiplied by Z2 bar, and the argument of Z1 by Z2 bar is equal to pi. Then we are given four options. Option A, argument of Z2 is pi by 4. Option B, argument of Z2 is minus 3 pi by 4. Argument of C. Option C, argument of Z1 is equal to pi by 4. Option D, argument of Z1 is equal to minus 3 pi by 4. We are given two complex numbers Z1 and Z2 satisfying these two conditions, that is Z1 bar is equal to I times I multiplied by Z2 bar, and the argument of Z1 by Z2 bar is equal to pi. Then we have to find the argument of Z1 and the argument of Z2. So one of them satisfies one of the given four options. We now discuss the solution of the problem in detail. And to solve this problem, a student has to know the properties of the complex conjugate of a complex number and the properties of the argument of a complex number. So we recall all these things while we discuss the solution of this. We are given two complex numbers Z1, Z2 with the condition Z1 bar. Bar means the conjugate, the complex conjugate of Z1 is Z1 bar is equal to I multiplied by Z2 bar, and argument of Z1 by Z2 bar is pi. In other words, amplitude of Z1 by Z2 bar is equal to pi. First, we take the first one. Z1 bar is equal to I times Z2 bar. Take the complex conjugates on both sides. We will get Z1 bar bar is equal to I Z2 bar, for this the whole bar, and Z1 bar bar is Z1. That is the complex conjugate of the complex conjugate is the original complex number. That is equal to here the conjugate of the product is equal to product of their conjugates. So conjugate of I Z2 bar is equal to I bar multiplied by Z2 bar bar. Z2 bar bar is Z2, and the complex conjugate of I is minus I. Agreed. Now take so Z1 is equal to minus I Z2. Take the arguments on both sides. So the argument of Z1 is equal to the argument of minus I Z2. So what is the argument of minus I Z2? We use this second property. The argument of the product Z1 Z2 is equal to the sum of their arguments, the argument of Z1 plus argument of Z2. So the argument of minus I multiplied by Z2 is equal to argument of minus I plus argument of Z2. Now, what is argument of minus I? Argument of I is pi by 2. Argument of I bar is equal to minus argument of I, that is minus pi by 2. So argument of z1 is equal to argument of minus I is minus pi by 2 plus argument of z2. So rearrange the terms. Argument of z2 sent to the left hand side. That will be argument of z1 minus argument of z2 is equal to minus pi by 2. That call this as the equation 1. Let's now take the second condition. So argument of z1 by z2 bar is given to be pi, and argument of z1 by z2, this formula we use, argument of z1 by z2 is equal to argument of z1 minus argument of z2. So the argument of z1 by z2 bar is argument of z1 minus argument of z2 bar, that is given to be pi. But argument of z2 bar is minus argument of z2. That is argument of z1 bar is equal to minus argument of z1 bar. So when it is a bar, the argument will be minus. So this will imply argument of z1 minus and another minus plus argument of z2 is equal to pi. That is your second equation. So from these 1 and 2, adding 1 and 2 will get argument of z1 plus argument of z2, 2 times of argument of z1. These argument of z2 cancels, and this is minus pi by 2 plus pi will be plus pi by 2. So 2 times of this. So argument of z1 will be pi by 4. So that is the answer. But anyway, let us see what will be the argument of z2. So what we do, subtracting 1 from 2, you will get 2 times of argument of z2 is equal to 3 pi by 2. That is pi plus pi by 2. So 3 pi by 2. So argument of z2 will be 3 pi by 4. So let's look at our options. And in this argument of z1 is equal to pi by 4 appears against option C, and argument of z2 is equal to 3 pi by 4 is not there in any of the options. Therefore, our answer for this question is argument of z1 is equal to pi by 4. So our answer is option C. So that is the detailed discussion of the solution of the problem from the complex numbers based on the argument of a complex number. I am sure that you have understood the solution of this problem. I wish you all the best. Thank you.